We're always told to celebrate our wins, right? To share our success with the world. But what if that's the exact opposite of what you should be doing? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty powerful philosophy from Smart Money Bro that argues your biggest advantage isn't what you say, it's what you don't say. It's all about the art of moving in silence.
Boom, there it is. That's the core idea. I know it sounds a little shocking, maybe even counterintuitive, but it is the central pillar of this whole way of thinking. The argument is simple. The very peace and freedom you think money will buy can be completely shattered by the noise you make about it.
So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll tackle the wealth paradox itself. Then, we'll get into the very real external and internal threats that pop up when you overshare. After that, we'll look at why silence is basically a superpower. And we'll wrap up by completely redefining what it really means to be rich. All right, let's kick things off with this central conflict. You grind it out, you work hard to get that financial success. All for what? Freedom, peace of mind. But, and this is the paradox, the very act of shouting that success from the rooftops can bring you the exact opposite: stress, drama, and a whole lot of anxiety. And this is the fundamental problem, right? The second you start to level up, you pop up on everyone's radar. And sure, some people are cheering you on, which is great, but others are watching for totally different reasons. They're plotting, they're comparing themselves, and some might even be hoping you fall. Okay, so let's get into the tangible dangers here. This isn't just about hurt feelings or a little bit of drama. We're talking about real-world risks that come from being way too open about your financial situation. This really is the double-edged sword of success, isn't it? Your money becomes this giant magnet. It pulls in good things, like opportunities, for sure, but it also pulls in the bad, the opportunists. And the more people who know what you have, the more you gotta guard against those who just want to take it.
And look how simple this trap is. It all starts with something innocent, You're excited, you post your new car. But then, the wrong kind of people, scammers, thieves, they start taking notes. And just like that, without even realizing it, you've painted a massive target on your own back. This is the 21st century version of that old saying. Every post, every story, every little brag, it's a data point. You're not just sharing a win, you're literally broadcasting information that makes you vulnerable. Your location, your assets, your daily habits. Now let's be super clear. This isn't about being paranoid or hiding in fear. Not at all. It's a protective strategy. It's about building a fortress around everything you've worked for. Your business, your dreams, your future. You're controlling the narrative by simply refusing to create one for everybody else. Okay, so we've talked about the dangers from the outside, but what about the threats that come from a little closer to home? The ones that are way harder to spot because they often come from your own inner circle.
Man, this one can be a tough pill to swallow, but it is such a critical insight. The moment you start winning, the whole energy around you can shift. People who used to be your biggest cheerleaders might start feeling a little insecure, and all of a sudden, that support can curdle into this quiet, hidden competition you never saw coming.
The trickiest part is that jealousy almost never shows its face. Publicly, it looks just like support. They'll like your post, give you a pat on the back, but privately, your success might be triggering their insecurities, feeding their envy, and it could even lead them to secretly hope that you fail. It's a tough one.
All right, enough about defense. Let's talk offense. This isn't just about dodging negativity. It's about using silence as a strategic tool, a superpower, to build something stronger, more resilient, and way more meaningful.
Just look at this breakdown. You've got loud people on one side, always chasing attention, giving away their sauce, their whole blueprint, and then you have the quiet people. They're not distracted, they are laser-focused, locked in, protecting their next move and building actual foundations. See, real power, it doesn't need an audience.
So, what does moving in silence actually mean? Let's be clear, it is not about being scared or secretive. It is a conscious, strategic decision to protect your most valuable assets, your energy, your focus, and your vision. You're keeping them safe from all that outside noise and influence.
And there's another huge benefit here. Silence makes you a better learner. It's simple. When your mouth is closed, your ears are open. You start to observe more. You pick up on people's real motives. You absorb wisdom. Talking is really just a performance. Listening, that's where the growth happens. So this brings us to our final and maybe the most important section of all. All this quiet work, all this strategy, it's all in service of a different kind of goal. It's about shifting our entire focus from looking rich to truly being rich.
I mean, just think about the difference.
What does it really take to look rich today? Not much. A credit card, a little bit of ego, an Instagram account, and you're pretty much there. But what does it take to actually be rich? Well, that takes discipline. It takes humility. It takes a whole lot of time and patience. You just can't fake real financial freedom with a filtered photo.
This is what we're actually working for. This is the real scoreboard. Peace of mind. Knowing your family is taken care of. Having zero bad debt on stuff that loses value. A life with no drama, no stress. Real, actual financial freedom. That is the definition of wealth, and not a single bit of it needs an audience.
And you know what the foundation of all of this is? Humility. Humility doesn't mean you think less of yourself or you hide your success. It just means you understand where it comes from and you honor it quietly. You're genuinely grateful for your blessings instead of constantly needing to show them off for likes and validation.
This is such a powerful way to frame it. Not every single win is meant for public consumption. Some successes are just for you. They're private tests, a chance to see if you can handle the win with grace and gratitude without needing the applause. They're for your development, not for your timeline.
So, to wrap this all up, the biggest takeaway is this. Let your results do the talking. Let your success make the noise. You don't have to be the narrator of your own story. Your job is to stay focused, stay humble, stay quiet, and just keep on building. Trust me, the results will be loud enough for everyone to hear. And that really just leaves us with one last question to think about. As you achieve more and more in life, your success is going to make some noise. That's inevitable. The real question is, are you the one controlling the volume?